Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you guys may be at. My name is PJ, and this is my not so secret diary. How's everybody doing today? Hi, Chrissy. Hi, Cindy Lou. Thanks so much for being here. This is just gonna go, and I'm gonna do a real quick one today. Hi, Shay. Hi, Barrett. I am actually having a pretty bad day. I have really, really bad anxiety. And for those of you guys that don't follow me or don't know, um, I have health anxiety. And what that means is that when I feel a certain way, for me all day today, it's kind of just been uncomfortable in my chest when I breathe and when I just am trying to work. It convinces me there's something wrong with me. And I've been to so many doctors that it's really just not possible that there's anything wrong because I've been checked out and I've gotten so many diagnoses of being perfectly fine. And it's just frustrating. Sometimes I just wish that there was something wrong so that I could just be okay and take care of what it is that's wrong instead of just constantly getting a clearance of being okay all the time. I'm starting that out not to do a sad fishing stream, but just to kind of make it clear as to why I might be talking fast or hopefully I don't start crying, but why I'm going to close it up and get out what I want to say and be done. Um, Many of you guys that follow me know recently I've been kind of back and forth with certain sets of people and a group of people, and I've followed some, I've shared some of their streams on my community tab. I support a set group of people, and here recently, the group of people that I support are going to have a couple of back and forth. They've had a couple of back and forths, like with Real Entertainment and CC. I'm gonna call him CC. And then I've seen people call out the fact that the other content creator called Roadhog is not being mentioned as being one of the problematic people. Me personally, I can only speak for myself, which is why I'm here, and this is why I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do. I don't watch Roadhog. I don't follow Roadhog. I don't agree with things that Roadhog does. And I find him just as problematic as all of the rest of the people that are getting called out right now for being problematic. And that is my stance on that. Now, as for Real Entertainment, I don't particularly dislike him. I don't agree with a lot of the stuff that he says. Oh, thank you, Cindy. I appreciate that. Thank you, Cindy. Let me just take a deep breath. I don't agree with a lot of stuff Real Entertainment News says, but I don't dislike him and I don't not watch him. I think he's funny and I basically will go in there and say what's up or I'll chat or go up on panel whenever I feel like it. That doesn't mean I'm going to be in every stream endorsing everything that he's doing. That doesn't mean that I agree with things he's done so far. It doesn't mean that I am his number one fan or his biggest supporter because I can't support anybody monetarily right now because of my situation. But I'm not going to go on some kind of hate train or pile up on somebody or bash somebody just because of the fact that my friends are doing it or that person doesn't like the person that currently doesn't like me. And my title says the enemy of my enemy is never my friend. Well, I personally don't like having enemies. I hope that I don't truly have enemies. This platform is really tough. There's a rough audience here and there. There's people that just come up here to hate others. And so, therefore, I feel that the term enemy is a really strong word for me. I personally would never hate anybody or have enemies, but sometimes when you dislike each other on this platform, it's basically just that title and that's what people call each other and whatnot. But I just want to make it clear, just for me and myself, that I don't have enemies. I don't hate anybody. I love everybody, especially, some of the people that really hate me because that's okay. It's okay for somebody to have a different opinion of you. It's okay for someone to dislike you or something that you're doing. Try not to take that to heart because it'll break you down. Hatred is a very powerful emotion that affects everybody starting with a person that's showing the hatred. The person that is being hateful and holding on to hatred is truly affected by that hatred. And therefore, you never want to have a severe hatred towards anybody. You can dislike somebody or what they're doing, which I dislike a lot of people. As you guys can see, my banner that's up on my screen right now, the reason that's there is because apparently there's been a couple of streams. I've seen a couple of pictures of somebody else's banner, this person that is on my banner, clearly. But just flat out accusing people of being liars and whatnot. So this is actual a factual statement, so it can't be misconstrued, and I can't be called a liar. But ultimately, everybody's their own person, and they can't be held accountable for something that somebody else does. They can't be held accountable for someone speaking against them or somebody trying to speak on their behalf, which that was my second bullet point. I took notes today, you guys. The second bullet point that I had was that there was a certain content creator that was upset that there was, a lot of people piling up on this character, which I didn't see that as happening. And so the friends of this content creator were going and doing lives stating things like, oh, well, her mental health is suffering. Yo, my mental health has been bad since my husband left, okay? I'm actively participating in it by doing streams like this. So I'm going to expect somebody to respond to me and somebody to have different opinion than me and somebody, to go live and talk about this stream. I'm not as important as a lot of these other people, so I don't necessarily feel like it's 100% going to happen, but I'm going to expect it. So if I'm up here saying, hey, my mental health is really bad, I'm having really bad anxiety today, I really just want to go back to bed and crawl in a hole. I wish that I would get a diagnosis for something and have something actually physically wrong with me because, like I said, I just went to the doctor 2 weeks ago. There's absolutely nothing wrong with me. And that's really sad that I really seriously sometimes wish that I could actually have a diagnosis saying, hey, there's actually something wrong with you. Because I hate feeling like I'm on high alert at all times, and I hate feeling like every little bodily symptom that I get within my body is some type of alert for an emergency. It's like all of a sudden I swallow wrong and my brain is like, whoa, 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 alert, alert, you have an emergency, uh, anyways, I have to laugh at myself because if I didn't laugh, I would definitely cry. But as far as the internet goes and this whole YouTube drama and the back and forth and all the people that are battling with the other people and the beefs that are going on back and forth, you really have to look at it from everybody's point of view. You have to try and put yourself in the other person's shoes, and you have to recognize that we're all people. Thank you, Barrett. I love you. Thank you so much. Yeah, Irish. She talks about it all the time on her streams. Um, yeah, I'm not really trying to start World War III, but it's possible that it's coming. And that's the thing that I'm trying to relay is that I know that what I say and what I do when I do these streams, there's a possibility of somebody reacting to me. And so therefore, I shouldn't be surprised if come an hour from now, there's a live stream getting done saying, PJ is an asshole, okay? Because I'm a smartass. I know that. I'm not going to be offended by it. I'm not going to, go and cry in a corner, even though I feel like crying today. But um, it's just how it works. And so, me coming up here and saying, hey, I have mental health issues is not an excuse for me to do what I'm doing, like my video right now. Me saying I'm having mental health issues and I don't feel well today and I feel really bad and everything feels like it's falling apart, and therefore that's why I'm up here trashing so and so, which I personally don't feel like I'm trashing anybody. I try very hard to be very kind and methodical in the way that I speak. I try to show courtesy to somebody that I'm discussing just because I know that these people are also real people. I know I've gone far and beyond and said some things that some people really found atrocious and just clutched their pearls over. Um, But that's typically when I do go too far, when I feel like I get pushed. Let's see what you said, Irish. I gotta go look. You're my enemy. Let's fight it out with a non-friendly game of beer pong. I can't drink beer right now, or else I would take you right on up with that offer. My anxiety and mood and whatnot doesn't really allow me to drink beer. When I drink beer, I get heartburn, and that's when I just, yeah. I gotcha. I gotcha though. Uh, so anyways, and the reason that I felt like addressing this is because I had a couple of comments, but one that stood out, where I was told about something Tira did. And for those of you that don't know, Tira, I used to follow Tira and I used to watch Tira all of the time, probably like a year ago, around the time when she was somewhat new. And I stopped watching Tira when she took BX Beast Boy's side as to what happened with me and the buying subs and me admitting it and talking about it. And BX apparently thought that I had done it to become, he said famous, but I think the word is actually infamous. And Tira did a video in response saying that she does in fact believe that I did do what I did to become famous or infamous. And I tried to explain to her that that's clearly not what I did, because here I am still at my number of subs, still in my placement, which I'm very happy with. Don't get me wrong. I'm very happy with where I am, what I have. I love all of you guys, my subs, my Patreon members. I am truly blessed. I have a great group of people around me, and I love each and every one of you guys. Um, Now I lost my train of thought. I don't know what I was talking about. I hate when that happens. That's another thing that freaks me out. And for those of you guys that know anything about health anxiety, it's like any little sign or symptom or a feeling, which for me it could be as easy as me like not remembering what I was just talking about. My brain instantly is like, oh my God, early signs of Alzheimer. Like, it's the dumbest thing when you say it out loud, when you rationally look at it on paper or think about it and actually speak it out loud. It's ridiculous. Nobody actually functions that way to where they can recognize, right? Oh, like, I forgot what I was talking about, therefore I have Alzheimer's. It just doesn't work that way. I was an EMT, for crying out loud. I went and drove lights and sirens in an ambulance, picking up patients and helping them with their emergency. And now here I am. That's why it's so frustrating to me. I'm not going to cry, you guys. Hi, Marissa. Good to see you. You did a really, really, really good video. And I wanted to share it, but this is kind of what my issue is. I feel like since I wasn't vocal, here's my example. Since I wasn't vocal in supporting Marissa's channel, even though I did watch her, I've been a sub to her channel for a while, but since I wasn't vocal in her chats or reposting her videos or chatting in her comment section, people are going to look at me now reposting the video that she did today or yesterday as me following along with her and reposting her um to jump on this hate train against AZ because me and AZ don't get along. But that's not the case at all. The case is me and AZ don't get along. I would gladly speak to her on that and try to explain to her why I don't feel like she's in the right. And it won't ever happen because I don't feel like she can understand that there's two sides to every story and that sometimes her side of the story is not always accurate. But as far as Marissa, her video was amazing. She put together all of the little clips of AZ's words herself as to how, how dare you support Roadhog? And then in that same sentence, she's like, so what? CC said he wanted to fuck your nose. Like, really? How does that work out? How does that work out? And no, I'm totally going to repost it because I feel like I truly feel that video was amazing. It put everything out in perspective to me. I related to it because I could see point A, point B, C, D, all the way down to Z. It clearly outlined what the issue is and the hypocrisy. And that's why I've actually been calling the girl T hypocrisy for like weeks, because there's been this underlying battle apparently that I had with her that I didn't even know existed. And it's really difficult to keep track of a battle that you don't even know exists, you guys. They're seriously, I'm not gonna cry. I'm not. Nope, our uteruses didn't sync up. I actually have the most problems in the middle of the month when I'm ovulating, so that actually might be a problem. But it's like I feel uncomfortable. It feels uncomfortable when I take a deep breath. It's probably heartburn, but my brain is so broken that it's literally like, oh, you're dying. And then I sit here and write out because I've gone to counseling and I have certain methods of things that I use for techniques when I'm dealing with anxiety. And I know I'm jumping around all over the place. I'm sorry, you guys, but I'm having a lot of anxiety. It's been quite awful, actually, just since probably 2 weeks ago. But my technique is you write down the thought and you write down the um type of thought it is. Like for me, I say, uh, I feel dizzy and I'm uncomfortable in my chest, therefore I believe I'm dying. And so then you have to, on a different side of the chart, I make like a little chart on my notebook. On the opposite side of the chart, you have to respond and write out why that thought is irrational and the supporting facts to explain as to why there's no reason that your thought is valid and why it's not valid. And it helps. It helps a lot. So let me see what you guys are saying. I'm always going into Cindy's live streams and talking to everyone. You're right. I've seen you there. I hope nobody's close by. Fire. I don't know what that means. If I was being nasty to her, she would know it. Yeah. But see, that's the thing. It's like people like her, she can't recognize that somebody just has a valid point in criticism, and she just gets all up in this huffy puffy mood and just gets all pissy. And then she goes to Instagram and does about 500 million streams on why she hates this person or why, like, it's just ugh. And I don't want to sit here talking about how my mental health is bad and then make it sound like I'm crying about what I'm doing or what somebody's doing to me, because I'm fully aware of what I'm doing and how what I do affects other people and what I do affects myself. And I know that this isn't healthy at times. Hi, Michelle, my love. And so it's like, I don't need this in my life. Hey, Tony, good to see you. And it's like, how do you step away from it? Especially when the person continues on and on and on and on, and you're not even doing anything to them. That's the thing that I don't agree with Cece. And for those of you guys that aren't following or that don't know who Cece is, I'm not saying that character's name at all, period. Hi, Anna, good to see you. But I believe that character just started speaking on my behalf and had no right to. I wasn't doing anything to that person. I think that's the difference between these problematic men and women as to whether or not, I feel that they're validated to say some of the things. Like, for me, I response to this video, but if I hadn't mentioned a certain person or if I hadn't spoken badly of a certain person whatsoever at all, I wouldn't expect them to respond against me in this video. And if they did, I would think that it was completely irrelevant, uncalled for, not necessary, bad behavior. And that's where I'm different. Um, I expect somebody to come back at me if I'm coming at them or if I'm discussing them. You know what I mean? Jelly bean. The vein means that you have gas and will explode soon. Oh, yeah. I wish it was just that easy. I wish I could just push a button or just decide, like, hey, I'm just going to relax now. But for whatever reason, it's not the case. Yes, that's very true. And then there's some people that do realize it and they do know that she's all over the place talking her smack everywhere, and they just choose to ignore it. And then they're up there backing her and saying everything she's saying is accurate and that we're liars. And that's the part that drives me nuts, because I know these people know that she in fact is doing what, certain people are claiming that she's doing, but they're just backing her just because they blindly follow her and she's their idol or something. I really don't know why. I don't. But it's frustrating because I can see it, you can see it, Marissa sees it, we all see it, and therefore, just don't do that anymore. Like, I don't want to take anybody off the platform. I don't want to cancel anyone. I don't want to be mean to anybody. I don't want to do freaking streams about people, but people do streams on me all the time, and that doesn't make that okay. It doesn't. But maybe one day you're going to recognize that what we're all saying is in fact what's happening and that it may possibly be you that's to blame. And I guess that's just my ultimate goal to my stream today. Not to bash, not to be ugly, but just to point out, hey, maybe there's a little bit of stuff that maybe you should work on. And that's for myself too, because I know there's always stuff that I can work on. Right. I saw that also. I kind of thought that was strange, especially since she hasn't been supporting him and now she is. I don't know how that works, but that's not my business. I don't. Yeah, she has no problem dragging people. So why is it now she is being bullied? Because that's how Katie Joy works. That's Katie Joy logic, and I call her that all the time too. I feel like she has a lot of characteristics of Katie Joy, the ones that I really dislike, and that's why I can't stand it. I don't know how anybody can hate watch people. It hurts my brain. It truly hurts my brain. But I gotta go back to work, you guys, and I did end up talking a little bit longer than I expected. And I forgot for a minute that I was having severe anxiety. So thank you so much for that. I appreciate that because anytime that I can take the freaking attention off of me being in my self-pity mode and my anxiety is high, I I'll take it. I'll take that moment. I'm just tuning in and haven't been able to watch the full video, but thank you acknowledging that all of the men are problematic. RH is no saver. Exactly. Um, the enemy of the enemy of my enemy, which, as I said earlier, is not my friend. And I actually, I don't, I actually don't respect people that turn to their enemies and become best friends with them because it's just not a good look. Because if you stand for something, you've got to stand for something. You can't be a wishy-washy individual that hates somebody for something. They don't change. You decide that you like them now because of the fact that they're enemies with your enemy. It's not a good look. It makes you look like you are a wishy-washy bad person. And I try not to be that way. And yeah, I don't see that it's getting any better. I feel like the nastiness and the back and forth is continuous and it hasn't really changed. I feel like it's gotten worse. I feel like um all the creators can't seem to just grasp that they all have their own platform for a reason and that they can all stay separate and they can be who they are without having to have this drama and conflict. I know drama sells, um, but ultimately it just becomes toxic and all of it seems to just be extremely toxic. I don't want to be annoying. I'm sorry I keep asking where you going about Tira because I don't like how she's covering this. Um I was in Tira's live stream the other day and I don't agree with the fact that Roadhog seems to be getting a free pass and like she seems to be on his side, but that's her personal opinion. And I don't really feel like I can speak for her. And just because I was in her chat doesn't make me a supporter of all things that she supports, if that makes sense. Like, just because I said, hey, what's up in so and so's chat, it could be anybody. It could be somebody that's really bad and everybody hates this person. Like Unirac, okay? If I was not blocked in Unirac's chat, there's a couple of people in that chat that I'm friendly with. One of his mods, Negative Exponent. I would seriously, if I was just flipping through YouTube and seeing, that he was live, I would go into that chat and say hello to Negative because I talk to him all the time. He's like a friend of mine. He's a good person. And so I would go into that chat in a heartbeat if I wasn't blocked and say, hey, what's up, Negative? And the way that this works, a lot of people within this community would look at that and think, oh, PJ's friends with Unirock. PJ's back in Unirock's circle. PJ's a bad person because, um, you know, she's in Unirock's chat. And I don't agree with that because just because I said hello to somebody or just because I made an appearance in somebody's chat doesn't mean that I support every single thing that they do. But now, on the opposite end of that, like with AZ and CC, um, she says she doesn't have a problem with him because he doesn't do what he does to women to her. So she's not affected by it because the slanderous things that he says and the nasty, disgusting things that he talks about don't offend her or don't upset her. And so therefore she's a mod for his channel and whatnot. So clearly she's close with him. I don't agree with that because just because the person's not personally harming you doesn't mean that you can't see their behavior and their bad ways as being bad. I mean, and that's another character. He's the one that blames everything on his post traumatic stress from being in the military. And oh, thank you. Thank you. God hates all these noisy children. Just stop by. Do you, sister? Thank you. It's guilt by association. Just because you're there doesn't mean you agree. Um, and see, just because I'm there doesn't mean I agree. But certain characters like CC, who I really, really dislike the behavior of, I would never be there. Whether or not I was gonna say hi, or, yeah. Anyways, I gotta go back into work, but I'm just trying to read these last little bit of comments. I'm asking about Tira and how abusive she was to you and others. This running to enemy of my enemy. Tira said a lot of stuff about a lot of people at a lot of points in time, and she was actually following along with BX as to what his conclusion was about me and my subs. Um, I kind of turned and looked the other way after like a week or two of our back and forth. I didn't really ever take Tira seriously. Just like with Real, he says a lot of stuff. I don't really take him seriously either. Um, so I don't know. I don't take a lot of stuff to heart and I don't take a lot of stuff seriously, and I think people are playing characters on the internet when they're up here and when they have a channel. And so it's it's hard to explain. I could go on and on, but I've got to go back to work. And now that I got into this, I feel like there's a lot more to say. Hannah and I are going to be on this weekend for a session of PJ and Bananas Questions Everything, and we might discuss this. But I love all of you guys. I hope you guys have a good rest of your day. And thank you so much for being here with me. I appreciate it so very much. And again, thank you to my Patreon members. Thank you. Thank you for my members and just subs. I appreciate all of you guys. Um, hope you guys have a great rest of your day and a happy Thanksgiving tomorrow to all those in the US. Bicycle. Bicycle.